So, quite a number of controversies as far as the Ballon d'Or is concerned. Not long ago, Ousmane Dembele was crowned the king of European football, according to the French football magazine, and now he is the new recipient of the FIFA Ballon d'Or, a prestigious award that has gone to some of the greatest players of all time. You mentioned Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Franz Beckenbauer, Zinedine Zidane. The list is endless. But then the new addition to that list is Ousmane Dembele. But then we're also looking at, that ranking, the players that made it on the podium and the players that were even omitted. So some are still saying Lamine Yamal doesn't even deserve to be in second place. Others are saying that Raphinha, was cheated. He was cheated. And see, this thing deserves to be reported to the police because you can't cheat him that way. He was top scorer in the Champions League last season. He gave the most assists. He was the best player in the La Liga last season. Come on, what else could he have added? So, it's just the aftermath of the FIFA Ballon d'Or. But then we are here to try to, explain what actually went wrong. Was it from the organizer's point of view, or even if it was the voters that actually had it wrong? Because yes, Osman Dembele won it. There's just a few question marks around that. But then other players also found themselves in positions where it was quite unlikely to even speak about that. I have with me here first, and we'll be talking about, we'll just be having that. It's more of an argument, but then we just try to go back, and just take everything one by one and explain them and try to see who was cheated and who was overrated as far as the Ballon d'Or is concerned. My name is Jose. Don't forget that you can also follow us across the various social media handles as Al Media Sports channel on YouTube, Facebook, X, and the rest. First, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
First, we are all not happy, as far as that was is concerned. For me personally, I felt there were one or two things that really went wrong. But then you want to say the standards in football has dropped. Because imagine having Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, you had Michael Owen, the list goes back, and then all of a sudden, it's Ousmane Dembele and Lamine Yamal that are fighting for the Ballon d'Or. Come on, would you just say that?
Well, it is quite unfortunate for people to say that the quality of football has dropped. Because if you look at what these two players, especially these two players, so let me not narrow it down to these two players. You understand? I mean, to the bunch of players that have been listed onto the list of the best players, nobody can tell me, nobody can make an argument that they don't have quality. We have Harry Kane on the list.
Yeah.
We have Cole
outside
Palmer.
the top 10.
No, Harry Kane is in the top 10. Cole Palmer is in the top 10. We have Lamine Yamal in the top 10. We have Raphinha in the top 10. We have the winner Dembele in the top 10. We have Raphinha in the top 10. These are all quality players. These are players who have espoused great skill set and talent under the year of review. You understand? So I disagree with the fact that people do say that the quality or the talent pool has shrunk. That is not true. But for people to also say that, we will not be able to see the dominance or the duopoly that we had experienced for close to 13, 14 years from Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. And even prior to that, we hadn't seen such a thing before. Because if you realize 20 years ago, you will see a player win it once or twice.
Yeah.
At most 3 times.
Yeah.
But not consecutively.
Exactly.
You understand? I mean, Zidane won it 3 times, not consecutively. Ronaldinho won it twice.
Yeah.
Ronaldo from Brazil
won it.
Nedved won it.
Yeah.
Henry, I said Henry.
Michael Owen won it.
Cannavaro did win it.
Yeah,
Kaka did win it. You see, the creme de la creme won it once or twice. But the dominance and the duopoly of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo is something that happens once in a lifetime, or even once in an entire ecosystem. We won't see that level again. And Dembele rightly so, and Lamine Yamal rightly so, deserve to be competing for the Ballon d'Or.
Interesting. But let's take a look at the rankings now. We would rather be touching on the top 10. Because like I said, Harry Kane finished 13th. So
13th.
he wasn't in the top 10.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. But then the top 10 had Ousmane Dembele, Lamine Yamal, Vitinha, Mohamed Salah, Raphinha, Achraf Hakimi, Kylian Mbappe, Cole Palmer, Gianluigi Donnarumma, and then Nuno Mendes. But we put a spotlight on Raphinha with the kind of season he had, finishing fifth. One might feel he was simply neglected as far as the podium is concerned.
I beg to disagree and beg to differ, because you see, your sense of appreciation of football is different from another person's appreciation of football. You understand?
But when it's glaring, when the achievement and everything is glaring,
it is the collective. Do you understand? I mean, it is important that as an individual player, you have numbers, you have statistics that back your skill set.
And he has it.
I am saying statistics that back your skill set with the trophies to match. Do you understand? And the year under review, he was, as rightly indicated, the top goal scorer in the Champions League.
Yeah, the top assist maker.
The top assist maker as well. He aided Barcelona to win the double.
And he won the best player in the La Liga.
He won the best player in the La Liga as well.
Yes.
But you see, it comes to the culmination of whom do you like best. Do you understand?
So it's not, it doesn't.
No.
It's not based on the fact that you're good enough.
It is based on the fact that you are good enough, because every single player in the top 10 was good enough. Do you understand? Because if you look at the impact that Cole Palmer had at Chelsea, the fact that they were able to go all the way in the competitions that they partook in was dependent on Cole Palmer's effort. Donnarumma, the fact that PSG was able to win the treble last season was majorly also dependent on Donnarumma. Vitinha as well, Achraf Hakimi as well. Because if you look at the way a right back plays, last season was extraordinary for Hakimi.
Achraf, yeah.
Do you understand? Watch last season's Kylian Mbappe. His first season in Madrid, and he gave a combined goal and assist of more than 50-50. Yeah. So if you are looking at the total statistics, it favors not only Raphinha, it favors a lot of the players. Okay. So at the end of the day, it depends on whom you like stylistically. It's like in boxing. Someone might prefer Mayweather, somebody might prefer Manny Pacquiao.
No, but it's not about preference here. We are looking at numbers, we are looking at achievement collectively and individually. And we are trying to, rank these players based on their performances over a stipulated period of time. So it's not about preference and how, you feel towards one player, but then it's about what they've been able to show.
Football is about aesthetics. Do you understand? When Ronaldo was winning the world best player, he wasn't scoring a lot of goals. Yeah. When Zidane was winning the world best player, he was purely the best player based on the aesthetics.
And the impact.
The impact have always been there. The impact has always been there. You understand? But the aesthetics is also a part of it. I get to the point. Raphinha does not give you that aesthetics. Probably, to me, he does not give you the aesthetics. He gives you the functionality, which is the efficiency, which is the numbers.
Which is the core thing we are looking at.
Which is the core thing, you understand? But I am saying that it is an individual's preference. It is an individual's choice to select from a pool of players who have demonstrably demonstrated over the year under review exceptional quality and talent. So I really do not have a problem with where Raphinha has been.
Then perhaps you don't have a problem with anywhere anyone was ranked at all.
I really do not have because whether Lamine Yamal wins it or what's the name? Dembele wins it, both equally deserves it. But the caveat was the fact that Dembele won the treble. Do you understand?
Same as Yamal. Yamal also won the treble.
No, he did not win the treble. No, he did not win the treble. He did not win.
He won the Super Cup. No, he won the Copa. No, listen. He won the Copa del Rey. No, listen.
Domestic treble is not the treble. We don't refer to the treble as the domestic because
there's City. No, there are teams that have won the domestic treble.
No, you're not getting
City won the domestic treble. It's still a treble, regardless.
It is not a treble.
No, listen. No, for the purposes of this argument. No, listen.
In English, treble means winning 3 trophies.
Yes, that's the point.
But in football, when you say the treble, we know the trophies we are talking about. We are talking about the champions.
No, so there's a European treble. No, there's a treble.
We are talking about. You see, that is why there's a distinguishing factor. When we say the treble, and it does not involve the European trophy, we say the domestic treble.
Yeah, but it's still a treble nonetheless. Then
you are qualifying it.
Yes,
but
it's still a treble.
Without that qualification, when you mention the treble,
it's still a treble.
I am saying, I admit to what you are saying, but I am saying that without the qualification, when you say the treble, it involves your domestic FA Cup. It involves your league. and then the Champions League.
Sure.
This is what the treble is known for. This, when we say treble in football, this is what it is known for. So that is what I think that swung the case in favor of Dembele. Because if you look at all the people on the list, you see Harry Kane is scoring over 50 plus goals. You understand? I mean, you see Lamine Yamal been fantastic for both Barcelona and for Spain. And then Raphinha, fantastic for Barcelona as well. You look at Cole Palmer, his impact at Chelsea. You look at both Donnarumma. You look at Achraf Hakimi. You look at Doué. You look at Vitinha. All these players deserve to be on the podium. Then it boils down to who wins or who places what. So,
and based on what now?
Based on how you feel about football. Because you see, the way I appreciate football might be different from the way you appreciate.
Yeah, you've mentioned that, but it's not about how you. It's about the glaring performances and also the key indicators which one could use to rank these players. And that's why we don't put all of them on the same level. And that's why they have been ranked. So they have been ranked based on a certain criteria.
Thank you. That is why I did indicate to you that criteria might change. You understand? But the aesthetics do not change. A couple of years ago, we do not take into consideration the amount of goals you have scored. We take into consideration your achievements over the year under review and your impact in that achievement. That is why I did indicate that Ronaldo did win the Champions League, won the treble, and then went on to win the Ballon d'Or based on his individual performances, not based on goals that he has.
No, but goals are also part of it, but not always.
Not always. Most of the time. 99% of the
Modric
time.
won it without his goals.
That is why I'm saying that it is not based on goals a couple of years ago. The genes got broken when Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi started scoring half a century of goals. Do you understand? In a season. Because imagine Lionel Messi scoring 60 goals a season, 90 goals a season, Ronaldo scoring 60, 70, 80 goals a season. That is where everybody then decided that goals and assists should be the benchmarker, you understand, in judging whom the best player
now, because we didn't have people scoring those high number of goals.
So that became the indicator, that became the sole factor. Then it went down again. Because prior to Cristiano Ronaldo winning in 2008, Kaká has won it in 2007 without even scoring 30 goals a season. But he was practically the best
Champions League top scorer in that year.
Top scorer. But if you look at the totality of the goals combined that season, he was not even in the top 10. So it was purely based on the aesthetics. But from 2008, when Cristiano Ronaldo scored 32 goals in the league and combined 40-something goals, it changed the perspective of the voters that now then you will have to add goal scoring and assist to become the most important in determining who the Ballon d'Or or whom the best player should be. That is why if you realize, if you were to be judging players who had won it prior to 2008 to the players who had won it in the last 15 years between Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, none of the players who had won it prior to Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo would have been able to compete if the criteria are the same.
Because the quality obviously was way higher.
It was way higher, but these two players changed the assessment sheet. You understand? From purely aesthetics to goals and assists.
Interesting. But let's also talk about Cole Palmer, who broke into the top 10. You're looking at the players that made it into the top 10, and all these players actually had, brilliant season. It's impressive. But then we can't also deny the fact that Cole Palmer actually snuck into the top 10 based on the fact that he had one good game in the FIFA Club World Cup.
No. So it is impossible for us to not, or for us to say that Cole Palmer snuck in. Because if you look at what he did the year under review, the whole season of Chelsea last year was dependent on the brilliance of Cole Palmer. Because without Cole Palmer, Chelsea would not have been able to win the Conference League. No matter whom the oppositions were, Chelsea would not have been able to win the Club World Cup as well. And Chelsea would not have been able to qualify for the Champions League. Because imagine from the start of the season, he wasn't having a good season. And Chelsea, was floundering. Chelsea was not doing that well. But when he came into the party, when he started having a good season, that was when Chelsea picked up. So when someone tells me that Cole Palmer did not deserve or does not deserve to be in the first team, I totally disagree. Because like rightly indicated again, it is the impact that you had.
In one game?
No, in your team collectively over the season. That is what determines whether you are supposed to be part of it. And you see, It is funny enough because a couple of years ago we don't have the top 10. You understand? Because a couple of years ago we had only the first 3.
Yeah.
Who comes
and then
to
the other list just
Yes,
yeah.
you understand. I mean, we get a top 3 from the top 20.
Yeah.
Then they took it to the top 5.
Yeah.
Where the 5 will come to the podium. That was when Fernando Torres and then
it was actually the only time we saw 5 on the podium at a
5
goal.
on the podium at a goal.
Yeah.
You understand? Yes. Then it came to the top 10.
Yeah.
You understand? And you see, I have a problem with that because it marinates so many players into the food, and it leads to a lot of questions. You understand? I mean, who deserves it better? But if we had only the first 3, then everybody knows that then the showpiece is centered around only 3 players. But back to the question again, I do not doubt that Cole Palmer had to be among the top 10.
Interesting. But for me, I still have my reservations about objections about Cole Palmer, because Cole Palmer didn't have a better season than Harry Kane. Let's be honest with ourselves. He wasn't a better player than Harry Kane. See, I have a tall list. Cole Palmer didn't have a better season than Scott McTominay.
You know, the problem you people have is the fact that when you compare different league structures, do you understand? I mean, there's no way that is why it is practically impossible or important for us to take into account the nature of the league as well. That is why
it's a top 5 league for crying out loud. That's the point.
I get the
point. Then you should then per what you're saying, if you believe the Premier League, is the best league, then the Ballon d'Or recipients should be coming from the Premier League.
It is not necessarily the Ballon d'Or winner should come from the Premier League. It tells you how competitive the Premier League is. Do you understand?
But how many winners have we had in the Premier League? How many winners has it produced?
We have an outlier. I am saying that the competitive nature of the Premier League makes it difficult, daunting for players to be extraordinary. Do you understand?
Come on. It's a league with the best players.
It is a known fact.
No, it's a league with the best players. No, how come you... How is it the best league when it doesn't have the best players?
I am not saying that it doesn't have the best players.
But
the best players are scattered across every single club. You understand? Every single team has got very good players. But you go to other leagues, Madrid, Barcelona, and the best players are centered over there. You go to Germany and the best players are centered in Barcelona. You go to Italy and the best players are centered around Juventus, Inter Milan, AC Milan a couple of years ago. Now you go to the what's the name, the Ligue 1, and the best players are centered only in in PSG. Do you understand? My point is that it is much more competitive in the EPL compared to other leagues. That is why it is difficult for a player to even get 20-25 goals a season in the EPL.
We've seen Haaland hit 36.
That is why.
Come on.
No,
we've seen Haaland hit 30. Harry Kane hit 30.
We have outliers. I am saying that we have outliers.
And in those leagues, how many times do we see a player hit 30? Even in those leagues, the Spanish league and the other leagues you are talking about having the best players.
The Spanish league for 20 years, we have players hitting 20 or more goals.
How many of them? That's the question.
Lionel Messi hit more than that. Luis Suarez hit more than that. Ronaldo hit more than that.
That's the point.
So that should tell you
that.
No,
that's the point. But it's not like... No, come on. Let's move on. Let's talk about the pettiness of Real Madrid. Are they being petty or they are being unprofessional?
No, they are being what Real Madrid is. You understand? I mean, we have to give it to them.
What are they being? Petty or unprofessional?
Real Madrid is the biggest club in world football. And if they rightly believe that they have been cheated, they have every right. They have every...
Who cheated them?
We all know this is not the debate that we had to go to. You understand? I mean, I don't want to... They feel that they had been cheated. Right?
They feel. But what's your opinion on
I am saying.
What's your opinion?
I voted for what's the name?
Vinny Jr.
I voted for Vinny Jr. because the year under review
vote for Vinny Jr.
The year under review last season. There's no way you can tell me that Rodri had a better season.
He wasn't their best player. Vinny Jr. wasn't even Madrid's best player.
Let's even leave that. You understand? I mean, Madrid can decide to attend the foray or not. It is up to them.
That's why I asked. Are they being petty?
They are not being petty. They are being Real Madrid.
So that's it. Ballon d'Or and its aftermath. Because there's been some sharply divided opinions. For me, I've always mentioned it. Yamal doesn't deserve to be in the top 3 or even the top 10. Cole Palmer doesn't deserve to be in the top 10. Harry Kane should have come a bit more closer than 13th. There are other players. But then people are also raising questions that how do you have the best players from tournament not even make it into the top 5? Because Scott McTominay was the best player from the Serie A. He didn't even make it into the top 10. Now, again, there's a player who was voted the best player in the La Liga. And that's Raphinha. And Raphinha didn't even make it into the top 3. Like, are you kidding me? The same player who was the best player in the La Liga, the top scorer in the Champions League. And rather, a player who never won the best player in any tournament at all he played in was rather second place. Like, come on, like, the inconsistencies, we could just call them, I wouldn't say anomalies. These are inconsistencies. And I don't know if it's based on PR, but then he was mentioning statistics, which I just believe, to some ways, just a subtle way of saying, yeah, he has the appeal of the masses. So let's put him there. But then let's also hear from you. Which part of the Ballon d'Or ceremony didn't you really enjoy? Or which part of the awards or even the rankings in the men's division do you feel that, a player was even cheated? For me, I've mentioned it. And I believe you also have your reservations about how the rankings would stand. So let's hear from you. The comment section is open. You can still subscribe and then also share the content. This is the Media channel. My name is Josiah, and thanks so much to folks for coming and to you for watching.